Welcome everyone to Self-Made Millionaire Tips. I'm Colin Plume, CEO and founder of Noble Gold Investments, My Digital Money, and some of my new ventures. Tumi Coco, a brand new, the most versatile hot sauce in the world. And then another thing that we're gonna that we're gonna get into. Matt loves that. He's excited.
I love it.
I forgot
I,
to.
I love hot sauce. There's nothing
Yeah.
better.
How does someone like me that can't really cook that well end up in this hot sauce business? I have no idea, but we'll get into that. And then the last thing is Guardian HR is a HR outsourcing business. I just became a partner in. The owner, Michael Goldflar, brought me in. We've been doing this. He's been doing it for 20 years, so I'm new to the business. So I'm excited to talk to Matt Clark about that and B2B marketing because it's new for me as an entrepreneur. So I definitely, this is great timing that you're here. Matt Clark,
Amazing.
nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on. Founder of Virtual Edge. He's helped over 1,700 entrepreneurs from 26 countries create systems to grow their business. And from sales to marketing, business development, over a decade of experience, and really creating a system to make life easier for business owners is what he's been able to do. And I'm excited to have you on. Also, world traveler. He's been to so many countries, which I think has really, I'm sure, added a lot of value to his life and also to his business and seeing the world. So first of all, Matt, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Colin. I'm really excited about today.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. Me
and
too.
just even like, just hearing all the different things that you're into and all the different things that you're doing. I love the diversity.
Yeah, I do too sometimes, and sometimes I don't, right?
Yeah, I get that too. It's
But
like
no,
too many,
yeah,
it's
it's
building too many puzzles at the same time.
yeah. I'm a big fan of Slack. Slack is definitely my friend. So I'm
Yeah,
learning a lot. So let's, dive right in. Just personally, we were talking off air. You and your wife are obviously traveling um all over the world, and you are able to run your businesses, anywhere in the world. How do you think the
yeah.
traveling has helped you personally and in your business sort of expand your creativity, your, horizons? How do you think that's really helped you, Matt?
I think the biggest thing around it is you have to have systems, right? Because you can't be sitting in an office and talking to Debbie or Wiz or whoever your people are around you that you could normally be able to do and move fast. So you've got to build your systems differently. You've got to build your business differently, and you've got to put structure to your life. And especially for us, I mean, now we're currently in Asia. Most of our clients are in the US, so they're between 12 and 15 hours behind us in time zones. So we have to structure our days differently. And it's really just planning everything out a lot better. So professionally, it's been amazing. I'm a bit of a night owl. You get those people who love waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning and get stuff done. I'm like, I go to bed at 2.
Hmm.
And then we wake up at 10, and then we'll go to gym and then go get something to eat and like actually have a day and then start working a little bit later on in the day.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's just changed how we do our days and how we live our lives. Um, Personally, same thing. I mean, we've had to get rid of everything. We had a 4-bedroom house that was, I didn't think it was filled with so much stuff until we had to get rid of it. And then you start pulling things out of the cupboard and you're like, oh my gosh, where did all this stuff come from? And we actually only travel now with one bag each. And it started off as a 32-kilogram bag, about 70 pounds, and it's now an 18-kilogram bag each. So we've actually seen how much stuff that you end up carrying with you that is not necessary, or how much stuff you bring into your life that is actually not essential to what it is that you need. And so it's kind of made me rethink about what is actually necessary for you to live a good life, be happy, enjoy your time, and just have less stuff going on so that you can truly be present in the moment.
Was your wife on board with this plan initially, or was there some convincing involved here
Oh
too?
no, she absolutely loved it. I mean, like, you know, for her, I mean, she's also a business owner, and well, she actually just sold her business last year, and she had a very location-based business. And I said to her, I was like, babe, we can either be staying in South Africa, and you know, the economy is going down, and it's not a super safe place to live, and we don't want to bring kids up there because it's not a great environment to do that. Or we can go travel for a bit and go find where we want to live around the world. And so she's like, well, she's never really traveled that much. So she's like, I'm down to go travel.
Hmm.
And she said, but I need 3 months, I need 2 years to get my business sorted out. And so in those 2 years, she put in a management team. She actually worked herself out of the business,
Hmm.
increased her pay, and I just helped guide her, you know, to that journey. She's 8 years younger than me. And she did it. She implemented it. And we got to a stage where we went and traveled for 3 months. Her business actually grew. And we were just like, we actually said to her parents, her dad, because it's her business partner, she said, yeah, we're just going to go for 3 months and then come back. And we didn't. And then she found she could run the business remotely. Mine
Yeah.
was always online.
Yeah.
So we just continued traveling, and she ended up selling her business, and we actually work together now. She's come into my business. She runs all our systems. She's an
Fantastic.
operator.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worked really well.
Good. Congratulations. I mean, it's amazing to do that. And obviously kudos to her for taking the leap of faith to, not from not traveling a lot to, living in a very small suitcase. I'm sure has been a sort of a culture shock, but it seems like you guys are really happy. And, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And you don't have kids yet, which we talked about earlier. So obviously
Makes it easier.
this is the time to get out and,
Her kids were her shoes. She had a room. She had her own room. We had this 4-bedroom house in South Africa. She had her own room for her clothes and her shoes and everything as well. So I think that was the hardest thing to give up.
those are her babies. Yeah, no, I get that. Well, that's fantastic. So you've been traveling around, but and you and your wife, and you've kind of experiencing the world, but let's kind of take a step back because I'm always interested. I've known a lot of people that you did door-to-door sales at one point in your
Yeah.
career. And I think some of the greatest salespeople were born knocking on doors. Tell me how that and maybe kind of how that led you into starting your consulting business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've actually never worked. This is the first time I've ever had a salary, okay, which is crazy as a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been in commission-only jobs, which is essentially working for yourself. And it started off when I was 18 in the UK, selling gas and electric door-to-door. Then I came back to South Africa and we started selling switchboard telephone systems to businesses. We'd go knock on their doors and sell them on a 5-year lease agreement. And I then started my own company from that. We landed up building a $6 million a year direct sales company. And then I looked at this and I was like, I love to travel. That's one of my highest values. And this business is keeping me stuck in this place because we've now got like 60 staff members and we've got this whole big beast and I don't have freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't loving the industry or the environment. So I said to myself, well, how do I change this? And so I just decided really, I'm going to make a change. I want to do something online. I want to get something that gives me freedom, that way I can earn dollars and pounds and euros and travel the world. And so I sold my shares and I took the leap and I went looking. And we actually started off as Infusionsoft certified partners because I was like, how do I take the skills that I've got in sales processes? And then I saw there's this tool that can actually help people automate that sales process. And I know sales processes. So we started doing that for people. And then the business kind of evolved where we got to a stage where we were automating people's processes, but now they need leads.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out Facebook and Instagram and all of that. So we went to LinkedIn and I was like, well, this is like virtually knocking doors, but you could do it from home.
Right.
And we just started crushing it, like just signing up people left, right, and center. And we're like, well, we're probably sure that some of our clients and people that we know will want this as well. So we started offering that, and that's kind of when the business just blew up.
Yeah. Listen, leads are the key to pretty much every business in the world. So if you
Lifeblood.
Yeah, I mean, you could teach somebody to sail anything, but if there's no one in front of them that's relatively warm, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah,
When
100%. I mean,
yeah, sorry.
even cold. Yeah, no, I mean, just even cold. just taking that first step. I mean, we had in the door-to-door sales, we had an 8-step sales process. And the first step in the process was knock the door,
Right.
right? So I've kind of just kept that with me everywhere. You've got to go and knock the door as the first step.
First step, right. And just see what happens, and just, yeah, see what comes back. So you decided to build with your experience and help business owners attract, just do B2B sales, like a bit, and you sort of realize I can tap into more people, right? Was that sort of the premise, right? You can reach more people online as opposed to, knocking on a door, build some systems. And obviously you have lead generators sort of coming in to you. The first few clients you had at Virtual Edge, did you build them through the door knocking system? Did you use that, or how did you get your first few clients there?
The first few clients, how did I do that actually? You know what I did was I went to go and speak at Chamber of Commerce's. And, so I would knock on the doors of people that had my ideal clients as part of their network. And I would go and say to them, hey, I've got something valuable. Can I come and talk to your audience at your next event or whatever it is? And so I started doing that, and I actually started speaking. No speaker training apart from, knocking on doors, which I think is probably pretty good. I mean, you're not nervous. And I've sold to groups many times before, boards of directors and international companies, and so it didn't really scare me. And that was how I got my first couple of clients. And the speaking has kind of stuck with us. We just do it more online now than in person.
Yeah, I own a small amount in a marketing agency I got into about 7-8 years ago, and we were it was local in LA, and I said, let's just go to a Chamber of Commerce meeting. They're free first time. And we picked up 3 clients in one meeting, like literally got up because they didn't have that kind of business there. They had, other lawyers and insurance agents, but they didn't have anyone, and basically went up and just said, hey, are you looking to get more leads? Are you happy with your website? Or just kind of put out a few things like you. And it was surprising. I think people think they're kind of dead, those Chamber of Commerce, but I was for an hour, I think we made like over 10 gross, like $10,000-$12,000 in 1 hour.
Totally.
But it was quite surprising that it was easier than I think we thought, right?
Well, people are there looking for solutions, so going to networking events is valuable. I mean, all we do now is we're a lot more selective of the networking events that we go to.
Sure.
And, you want to be dealing with people who are your ideal target market. But how you learn that, especially in the beginning stages, is by going and speaking to a whole bunch of people. You've got a general idea of who you want to deal with. You go start delivering some services, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't want these people. I want more of these people. And, that's kind of how we figured it out, because, I mean, I had no idea in the marketing in space. Who did I want to talk to? Who did I want to sell services to? I was just like, I've got this amazing thing. People need to buy it, right? Because it's going to change your business.
Right.
We did learn, though, that not everyone is a good client or a good fit.
Very true. Yeah. I mean, talk about that. I mean, I think I saw something about you. You were talking about in one of the videos in my research of you, where you were talking about people just think any client, they should go after any client. And I've learned in my business, that's absolutely not true. Tell me about your thoughts on, I open my door, I'll take anybody as a client, and talk about the pitfalls of that strategy.
It also depends on what kind of service that you're offering. So if it's a physical product, that's fine. You can send it out to the masses if it's B2C, whatever. But even then, it's when you choose who your ideal client is, you actually create a buyer persona around that. And that buyer persona determines your marketing, it determines your sales process, it determines your offers, it determines all the languaging that you use in there. So if you are in the beginning stages of businesses and you're saying, well, I've got 5 different kinds of buyers, well, essentially you're building 5 different businesses. You've got 5 different marketing campaigns to run. You've got 5 different messages, 5 different email structures, 5 different models that you need to build, 5 different delivery mechanisms. And that's one of the things that we learned was, we picked up clients that were like health coaches, and then guys that were in manufacturing, and then someone that was in, this business and that business. All their processes were different. And, if you want to build a scalable business, you need to have a repeatable model.
Correct.
And you can't have a repeatable model if you're doing custom stuff every single time.
Correct.
Unless if you're doing custom stuff every single time, you're charging a lot of money for that.
Right.
And you can afford to bring in experts that can take some stuff off your hands.
But it also takes away, right? Time. It's all time.
It does.
What's a client or a genre of business that you've had great success, that you could tell like a success story that is one of your niches for Virtual Edge?
So business coaches and consultants, executive coaches, guys that are doing B2B stuff and selling B2B services and even B2B products. That's been really, really good for us because, these are people who've got high ticket offers. We know that we can get them a massive return on investment. Typically our clients see a 5 to 10 times return on investment within 6 months. And it's easy to do that because we don't need to be driving massive volume. We need to be driving the right kind of volume and the right kind of clients.
Right.
And that gets me really excited. So, it's not just about the leads, it's about the positioning, the message, the offer, and then the model. So an example of this is one of our clients, Mark. He has a consulting business where he works with the people side, aligning the people to the mission, the vision, and the processes. And he was charging $75,000 a year to work with him, or that was his flagship offer. But what was happening, because he didn't have all the stuff aligned and he was going after everybody, was that he was meeting people and then taking off slices of his offer and delivering custom stuff to people every single time.
Right.
So he had these like long sales processes, 6 to 12 months. He would have some months where he'd make like 5K, then he'd do like 30K, then he'd do 0. And there's this whole like roller coaster revenue. And he looks back at the end of the year and he's like, the amount of effort I put in and what's in my bank account are two very different things.
Yeah.
So what we did was we got him focused on specifically manufacturing companies. We identified where his ideal clients are, which was on LinkedIn. We then put a process together to brand him and position him specifically for that so that they know how to work with him before they even talk to him. We then created his model to millions, or his signature solution, which is a 3-stage, 9-step process. From that, we created his offers. So the first stage was his front-end offer, which he would now charge $10,000 for a 2-day assessment. We would link that to an ROI that clients would get. And then he would upsell them to the back-end offer saying, hey, do you want help implementing this? Mm-hmm. Right? And he even did. So he would charge $10,000. We came up with a price of $10,000 for that front-end offer. And what was really cool was that he said he'd give people a money-back guarantee. Mm-hmm. So he'd say, look, if I can't show you at least $10,000 worth of value, I'll give you your money back. And the reason he does that is not because because he said to me, he's like, Matt, I'm not looking to sell $10,000 things. I want people to join my high ticket program because when they come and work with me, they stay for at least 5 years.
Right. Okay. So he was going for the lifetime value of the client. That was so you kind of, and also if just kind of looking at it numbers wise, from my point of view, 10,000 is much more approachable, right? Than hey, I got a 75,000. Yeah. It's an easier decision.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a much easier decision. So like his sales cycles went down from 6 months to 2 weeks. He was signing up more clients, doing the $10,000 things. And then he increased his back-end offer to $150,000 and he brought on 5 clients.
So where did he start with you? Obviously he's making a 0, he's making 5,000. What's he making today using this system?
Yeah. So Mark is sitting at about $75,000 a month. He's 71 years old. He was below 10,000 when he started working with us. His goal, he came to me and he said, my goal is to get to 15,000 a month.
Wow. Well, he's absolutely exceeded that.
Yeah. And he delivers in 2 90-minute sessions a month and 1 quarterly meeting in person.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's enough money to travel around with. 75,000 a month. I think he's going to do okay.
He's loving life.
That's exciting. Let me ask you a follow-up question on a consultant, because that seems to be one of your niches. Do you think that anyone can be like this type of consultant, or do you think you have to have a certain level of experience or success, or I don't know, something to pizzazz, charisma, I don't know, whatever, I don't know what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to get at is, could someone that didn't really hit it out of the park in the business world have some success or great success in this type of consulting?
Yes and no. I think there's some areas where you do need to have experience and you need to have either education or something like that. There are certain fields where you need that. But in other areas, it's very simple. It's about identifying a big problem that they've got and being able to solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to make people choose you over somebody else is if you develop a system behind it and you make the delivery super easy for them.
Got it.
So if you can solve their unique problem in a unique way that reverses their objections, you're going to get clients.
So you have to have some real world business experience, been able to solve some problems, identify problems, but maybe you were an entrepreneur or somewhere in that level. You just have to be to be able to see how the business world works and then articulate that in a certain way, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or go out and do market research. If you've got, we've had clients who've been in corporate before that have identified problems, come out of corporate and said, I'm going to start my own consulting business to go and solve those problems. Fantastic. We've had other people that have come with amazing new technologies and SaaS products, and they're like, I know this is going to solve some problems for some people. I don't know who, and I don't know how to get in front of them. In which case, the key factor there is doing market research, going and interviewing people, going and figuring out what problems are they trying to solve? How does your solution solve those problems? Maybe it needs to be tweaked a little bit in order to be able to get there. So we had people come in all different stages. I think the key thing is doing that market research and being able to identify that key problem that's getting solved and then position it in a way that uses their language to attract more of them.
Got it. No, that makes perfect sense. Well, and not to throw in the name of the show, Self-Made Millionaire Tips, but I'm going to segue into something really exciting, because obviously I love to plug, this podcast. You have created a model of millions system that you said it was mostly for your high ticket clients at some point, but you're sort of opening it up here. So tell me a little bit about that. What's that, model of millions? What does that entail? How does that work? What's some of the success stories you've had there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of my favorite things that we do, because it's a visual model that makes your business irresistible, right? It determines your sales, it makes your marketing easy, it determines your sales process, you can create videos from it. And really what it is a visual roadmap of how you take your clients from point A to point B. There's 3 stages, 9 steps, and a transformation at each step in each stage. So you're showing them the physical journey, but also the emotional transformations that they're going to experience as they go through this. And what we've seen people do, and we've, like I said previously, kept this for our VIP clients only, is every single person that's come to us that wanted more leads, and we've worked with some 8 and 9 figure businesses as well. Majority of the people we've been working with are sort of like 6, 7 figure businesses. But every single one of them come back and say, yes, we came to you guys because we wanted leads, and we got tons of leads. But the thing that really changed the game for us was putting in the model to millions, because it allowed us to align our team. It allowed us to get our marketing dialed in, have a content strategy, actually create videos to use as part of the sales process to educate people before they buy from us. It allowed us to create videos as part of the marketing process to get more calls booked in. I got tons of case studies. One of our clients, David, is he's also a consultant. And the funny thing was, he was telling me he was on the golf course playing golf with some buddies. And his biggest challenge was that he would ask people would ask him, so what are you doing now? And he would have this 5-minute explanation of what he does, right? You've heard that before. And at the end, people are still scratching their head saying, I still don't know what you do.
Yeah.
And we came up with that he is a conflict resolution consultant that helps reduce employee turnover by 15% in the next 90 days. Just by doing that and being able to say that, two of his buddies on the golf course, one introduced him to his CEO and the other one referred him to another CEO. He made $30,000 in the space of a golf game.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
But not only that, he went from being the person to have to deliver absolutely every step of the process to now he's got these 3 stages, 9 steps. We then helped him create an SOP for each one of those stages. And now he's brought in other consultants to deliver on that, which means he can focus on working with the CEO and the business owner on the overall transformation and the big picture stuff where he really loves to work on and where he really shines. And then he brings his team in to help them walk the steps to get there. So he's created leverage. He's making more money. He can focus on the big picture strategy and driving more leads, which is what he wants to do.
Yeah. I remember with my precious metals business, when people had asked me, I said, oh, we sell gold and silver. And then one day I saw something very similar to this idea. And I said, I just changed it and said, you know, we educate people on an alternative investment that's been around for 5,000 years that you can't print, you can't replicate. And that's how I typically open up it. And the way that the conversation shifts is, it's mind blowing how different it is from, we just sell, you know, gold and silver, we, you know,
commodities.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, I being able to summarize it in, you know, 15 seconds and then giving them, you know, because I always feel like with sales, a lot of it is like you're talking to the person that's going to get you in the door, right? Yeah. And they have to be able to simply explain what you do.
Exactly.
You know, on the B2C with our precious metals and crypto business, like they need to be able to explain what our value proposition is potentially to their spouse or partner in a simple way, right? And so that's
or you've got to have assets that they can share with them.
Correct.
That explains it in a simple way.
Right, exactly. And, you know, really excited to have you on because I am on a new journey as a business owner myself, coming into a B2B business, which I've never been involved.
Amazing.
It's a HR outsourcing business that helps business owners, small, medium-sized business owners that are inundated with the laws of the United States. The state federal laws for HR are constantly changing. And most business owners today can't afford, a lot of them can't afford a full-time HR, or if they have a full-time HR person, they're doing hiring and culture and doing a million things. They can't keep up with the laws. So our product through Guardian, you get a dedicated HR manager that works with you. You can fire off questions too. And also we have legal services attached to it also. So if you need a severance agreement, we just got an amazing review from a client that needed, you know, the hard thing about being in HR is like having to let people go down. So one of the hard things, and they had, one of our clients had to downsize and send an email to us. And the next day we sent over 7 severance agreements and kind of gave them a plan of action and just kind of talked them through that. So I'm very excited about this business, but from a marketing point of view, it's new to me because I've always done B2C. So selfishly, I brought you on because I do want to talk about that a little bit more.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, and kind of scale that business. But to kind of wrap up, because we're hitting our time frame here. You know, what would you say to business owners today, or you know, listen, there's so much information coming out. A lot of BS, obviously, you know, what would you say, you know, sounds like you're a person that really focuses on research and spending time, but what would you say for a business owner to kind of take a step back and go, okay, I have a B2B business, you know, I know I need leads. I have a good product. I like what I'm doing. What would be your advice to that person today to kind of help them organize on a simple way before they maybe get a consultation with you? What's just a simple trick or tool that you would recommend for them?
Yeah, so I would sum it up in 3 words for you. Cut, grow.
Cut, grow.
Right. Most of us that are, you know, B2B experts, consultants, whatever it is, we've got so many expertise that we can share that we try and sell all of them, right? And it becomes very difficult to market. And so what is a critical piece to growth at any stage, and especially if you're going out with your marketing, and especially on LinkedIn, where it's a professional network, is focus on solving one big problem for one ideal client, right? And that first big problem. And then once they come into that, take them to the next one, then the next one, then the next one. So sell them what they want first, and then give them what they need afterwards. And if you do that, your marketing becomes
not
simpler.
overwhelm them with so many different offers and what you can do.
Exactly, Colin.
Yeah, focus on the one thing that you can definitely solve, and then
Yeah,
once
and
you
their
solve the problem,
biggest pain points.
right, makes perfect sense. No, I love what you said today, Matt. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to jump on with you, and I'm going to get my partners together for a call with you, because I'd love to dive in a little bit more.
Yeah, we'd love to help you.
Yeah, and listen, I think obviously you know your stuff. A big part of it too is, like, the South African accent is obviously helping you. I'm actually thinking about getting an AI to change my California accent so that I could sound more like you. No, I appreciate you coming on. Very exciting. I don't know what time it is where you are. It's probably late. But great business. Virtual Edge, Model of Millions, Matt Clark, world traveler, interesting guy, very cool business. It sounds like he's for any business owner out there that's looking for someone to kind of guide them and get them to the next step, give Matt a call. And I appreciate you coming on today. And any last parting words, Matt, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I would just say for everybody that's whatever stage of business that you're in right now, is keep it simple. Design your business to fit your lifestyle, not the other way around. All of us get the opportunity to do whatever the hell we want in life. And most people choose the business first and then try and fit life somewhere in between there. I would encourage you to take a step back, decide what life you want, how much you want to work, how much you want to make, and then build a business or businesses or assets or investments or whatever it is, compound those, stack those boxes to get the lifestyle that you want with the income that you want. And enjoy the process. Like, it's a journey, right? The whole thing is a journey. Learn to love the journey along the way. And man, it all just becomes 10 times more fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Virtual Edge, Matt Clark, Excited Self-Made Millionaire Tips, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Colin.